What's up, guys? Ham Productions here. This is the first video on the channel. Just to give you a rundown of what we're gonna be going over on this channel. It's mainly sports things, maybe a little bit of video games, but only like Madden and like other sports games. So yeah, that's mainly just what's gonna be going on in this channel. For this video, as you can probably see by the title of this video, we're gonna be going over like the recap of the NFL season, like storylines, what happened, um big moments that happened. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video and hopefully you enjoy it. I'll see you at the end of the video. All right, so obviously the first storyline of this NFL season was the backup quarterbacks. So many backups got a chance to show their worth this NFL season. As we can see, Tommy DeVito, Will Levis, Josh Dobbs, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, having the first backup quarterback to win a game. You had PJ Walker for that team, and Joe Flacco won comeback player of the year. As you can see, Jake Browning, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. That's not even mentioning other quarterbacks that started the game that weren't necessarily starting more games, but Blaine Gabbert started the game for the Chiefs. Sam Darnold started the game. Zach Wilson started. Drew Lock. He won a game against the Eagles, obviously defending NFC champions. It was just craziness this year. Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian started games for the Jets too, since Aaron Rodgers got injured in the first week. It was truly the year to show that like backup quarterbacks aren't bad. They're just not as good as the main stars, which makes us appreciate these main stars more to show at such a high level they are playing at. But these guys are playing at such high levels that even the guys below them are really, really good and at that high caliber that can still win games. So yeah, this was a really probably the biggest main storyline of the NFL this year. Right, so obviously another huge storyline that happened, Damar Hamlin making his return. Arguably the most any player has ever had to come back from. Maybe Alex Smith, you could say, but this guy passed away on the field. He had to get CPR. He was in critical condition, and he somehow survived and had tackles. He played. He wasn't like he didn't dress for most games, but when he played, he was playing. He wasn't like sitting on the sidelines most times. Like he was in on special teams. He was in for some defensive plays. It's amazing to see him return because we haven't seen that happen really in a while. The only time was I wasn't born. So yeah, truly awesome. Congrats to Lamar making it back. Stinks that he didn't win comeback player of the year, but he still came back from so much, and it's amazing as a Bills fan to see this guy return. Another storyline that happened this year was Lamar winning the MVP. Um, Pretty deserved. I mean, he was the quarterback on the best team. He showed up in the big games. The only big game he didn't show up was obviously the Chiefs, but they have really good defense. But it's a regular season award anyway, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, stats aren't like the most eye-popping stats, but in the big games, like against the Lions and the 49ers and the Dolphins, he played really, really well. And yeah, hopefully he can replicate that same success next year. Hopefully the Ravens can be good again. Congrats Lamar and congrats to the Ravens. And another big storyline, and probably like one of the most surprising storylines of the season was the Houston Texans becoming good again. Like no one thought they'd be this good this fast. They made the playoffs. They won a playoff game. They won a division. It was insane what they did this year with what people said was not great wide receiver talent. They played great. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, all those guys had career years, and like this, so they were so good for the entire season. Obviously, Tank Dell got hurt, but even before that, he was like balling. He could have been up there for Rookie of the Year. But yeah, insane what they did. D'Amico Ryans is probably a top 10 coach in the NFL for the way he revived the Texans from the dead, pretty much. Um, he CJ Stroud, people said he stunk. I mean, they said that the tests that he did was, a big show of his abilities, but it turns out that it wasn't. It turns out that the guy who was drafted first went 2-15, and he got drafted second. Who some crazy people said that Will Levis should have been taken in that spot. Congrats to Texans, obviously. Congrats to CJ Stroud. Congrats to Mika Ryans. They got a dynasty in the making. They got a really good team coming up. They're still really, really young. They still got tons of talent. And yeah, awesome. Good job to the Texans. All right, and the final large storyline this year, possibly the biggest, was the referees. The referees this year seem to be the worst ever. They seem like they dictated many games. Um, just to think of a few, obviously the one on the screen right now, Lions Cowboys. And it wasn't the smartest move to do like a little trick play. The referees still gotta know, like, that one guy's reporting eligible. They can't be making mistakes like this. against the Chiefs Packers. I mean, that game dictated by the refs. Should have been a pass interference on MVS. Shouldn't have been a ref right hit on Mahomes. And even against Chiefs Bills, even though it was the right call, the refs were dictating more and more games. I know a Bills fan, so I remember both Bills games. Bills Eagles. I mean, that was there was this one image, obviously, of Josh Allen's jersey getting pulled off, and they called it intentional grounding on him. Which it just seemed like the refs were a little bit worse this year. In the Super Bowl, I thought they were fine. A lot of people were calling for holding penalties though, but they weren't calling favorable calls for either side. They really let them play. So the refs were good, when they needed to be. They let teams play, but we obviously saw many times of the year. That probably cost the Lions the 2 seed. That did cost the Lions the 2 seed. It didn't matter in the end because they still made the AFC Championship game. If they were the 2 seed, they would have to go to San Francisco anyway. But what if that didn't happen? And they'd have to go to the Cowboys. And yeah, so it just the rest didn't make a good impression of themselves this season. Hopefully they're better. Hopefully Goodell and his team just, makes the refs better next year. But but from what we saw this season, they were really, really bad. So yeah, hopefully they're good. What's up, guys? Hair Productions here. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for staying till the end. Just give a bit of an update on my upload schedule. I'll be uploading 2 to 3 times a week, possibly 4. I'm not going to be recording on the weekends, but I will be uploading possibly on the weekends, but they're going to be pre-recorded. My next video, hopefully coming out tomorrow or Friday, will be about the Chiefs dynasty and their obviously 3 championships in 5 years. Probably more about this one though, just because they probably went through the most this year. But yeah, thanks for watching till the end again. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.